It's Ron Reader Digs the Universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, conservatives and education. Here's an overview. When you adjust American standardized test scores for poverty, we are comparable to Finland, widely regarded as having the best schools in the world. So we don't have an education problem, we have a poverty problem. Anybody who tells you that he knows how to fix American schools is lying. The schools aren't broken, they're just fine. What's broken is our fucked up super capitalist society. The only fix for education is ending poverty. Last week, Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin treated us to a CNN town hall meeting focusing on how he's fixing education in Virginia. You may recall how Youngkin recently unseated his Democratic opponent, in part by promising to give parents more control over the schooling of their children. But his notion of parental control was about mask mandates in COVID. All very uplifting stuff, albeit with death embedded in the good vibes. Once he took office, he showed the nation a whole lot more about parental control. It means telling parents if their child is trans or gay, thereby radically upping the chances of suicide and abuse for les, gay, bi, trans, queer youth. Parental control means erasing history so as to empower white supremacy. Youngkin euphemizes it as banning divisive concepts, but it amounts to the same thing. Parental control means slowly, incrementally defunding public education by giving taxpayer dollars to the learning scam, better known as charter schools. He was pushing all this reprehensible excrement at his town hall, big smile on his face, feeling our pain like Bill Clinton doubling down on his notion of divisiveness by celebrating his ban on ideas coming out of critical race theory. Quick aside on that. Does studying U.S. history from a critical perspective might make white people feel bad? Well, it should. Personally, having done so, I'm outraged all the time by our nation's continuing racist shame and its refusal to repent. It's not whether CRT makes white people feel bad, but rather what are white people going to do to end white supremacy? If you don't get that, then you don't get the idea of critical race theory and have no business offering opinions on it. End aside. It's very telling that conservatives hate CRT so much. CRT is a manifestation of critical thinking, or more simply, disciplined thought and reason, which is the intellectual tool needed for understanding how the right wing extorts and abuses the United States. Parental control sounds nice, I guess, but it's just a Trojan horse for undermining critical thinking. I mean, it's totally obvious that a lot of parents are paranoid, racist, homophobic, and stupid as shit. Parental control is simply unworkable in the real world, and the main reason why education should be controlled by educators and not the fascist conservative mob. But you know what's most offensive about Youngkin's school shit? It's not an education problem, it's a poverty problem, and conservatives like him, they're just fine with poverty. I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Does studying U.S. history from a critical perspective might make white people feel bad? Well, it should.